Chinese Peking Opera is one of the most popular and famous forms of theater in China. Peking Opera is a beautiful mix of dance, singing, acrobatics, and acting. It originates back to 1790 in Beijing, China. During the mid-19th century is when Peking Opera became fully developed and recognized as an important aspect in Chinese theater. Peking Opera performers require an extensive amount of training and practice for years before they are ready for the stage. Peking performers are typically males that perform female roles. With the help of makeup and costumes, these performing men put on an extravagant show that leaves many speechless and in awe. One famous Peking performer, Cheng Yanqiu, has left a huge impact in the Peking opera world. Cheng Yanqiu is also known as being part of the well-known Peking opera performance group, the Four Great Dan. This group included other performers such as Mei, Cheng Yanqiu, and Zun Husheng. These are the most famous Peking performers. Let us discuss who Cheng Yanqiu is, where he came from, and his important role in Peking opera. Cheng Yanqiu was born in Beijing, China, on January 1, 1904. Yanqiu came from a large, poor Manchu family that eventually declined. Yanqiu was not given much and his family could not offer him a lot, so he started to study martial roles at a very young age. Yanqiu had remarkable looks, even at a very young age, so he switched his studies to Qinyi, which means Chinese opera. Yanqiu, along with having good looks, was very talented at singing, which set him up further for success in Peking opera. As mentioned before, Peking opera has female characters that are played by men. Yanqiu was training as a performer for Peking opera, which he would perform a female role. After years of extensive training and practice, Cheng Yanqiu finally made his debut at the age of 11 as a Peking opera performer in Dangui Garden, alongside many other famous actors. His career skyrocketed after this performance. Cheng Yanqiu became extremely famous for singing and dancing in Peking opera. He was a part of the Four Great Dan, who were all extremely talented in their own ways. Each of them were well known for singing, dancing, their looks, martial arts, and other artistic skills such as painting and calligraphy. Training for aspiring Peking opera performer starts at a very young age. It takes years and years for each performer to perfect each style of performance that doesn't even guarantee they'll make it big. For Cheng Yanqiu and the other three performers of the Four Great Dan, this was not a challenge. They each excelled at all forms of theater and art and making their own legacy, one to live on. Cheng Yanqiu specifically trained in singing, dancing, martial arts, music, and dialogue when preparing to become a Peking opera performer. Yanqiu's career in the theater was an all-time high between 1928 and 1935. Things were not always easy for Cheng Yanqiu as he developed a throat condition that did not allow him to sing as well as he used to. This caused a major setback in his performing career, but he did not stop doing what he loved. He started training in other areas of theater. Yanqiu was learning from Mei Leifang, another very famous Peking opera performer. Cheng Yanqiu became talented in calligraphy, painting, poems, and movies. Yanqiu continued his acting career as well as became a writer, director, and famous artist. Yanqiu shifted his focus in theater to tragedy and created beautiful sets, characters, and performances. He also created a unique form of singing which allowed him to still use the skills that he had in vocals. Cheng Yanqiu did not live a long life. Unfortunately, Yanqiu died at the age of 54 on March 9, 1958. Yanqiu's cause of death was a fatal heart attack. At this point in his life, Cheng Yanqiu was now the vice president of the Chinese Academy of Traditional Opera. His successes in Peking opera have been recognized for many years and is still discussed today. His skills at such a young age provided an open window for Cheng Yanqiu to be famous one day. His training and practice for years made him one of the four most famous Peking opera performers in the world. It is not every day you see someone excel in directing, singing, dancing, martial arts, writing, and art. The list goes on. Cheng Yanqiu's career as a Peking opera performer is one to be remembered and honored.